Hello, everyone. A-Dog says she's always prepared.
Always prepared.
There's never a time, ever, at any point, that she is not prepared. For what exactly? Not sure.
That's between me and my preparedness.
Ah. Okay.
I can't rely all my secrets to everybody.
We are going to have a special guest appearance at some point. So when the dog goes all nuts, it's because our special guest has arrived. So be prepared for that.
Be prepared. That was really bad. I'm sorry. That was horrible.
That was gorgeous. That was wonderful, and I loved it.
Maybe I'm not sober.
It was
my preparedness song didn't. It was a little squeaky.
It was delightful. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's okay though.
So as per usual, we're gonna start out by making fun of some stuff. So let's pull up the Craigie list while we're waiting for people to join us. Boom, Craigie list. Okay, so $650 for the ultimate paintball package.
It's everything you need to play
out of Newcastle
tomorrow.
Everything you need to play tomorrow, which is a Friday. So I'm thinking that this is illegal because the only way that you could have everything you need to play tomorrow in this package is if he's selling players. And that sounds like slavery or at least indentured servitude, which I'm pretty sure both are illegal. But let's go ahead and read. Paintball package includes everything you need to play tomorrow. The Empire Axe is a tournament-grade paintball gun. Yeah, maybe back in 2012. Capable of being used as a single shot, 3-round burst, or even fully automatic! Exclamation point, exclamation point. There are also
It should be or, but he put and.
For what?
Capable of being used as a single shot.
And
3-round burst.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Or
that's proper. I think either one's proper. There are also 2 Empire feeders that will continuously feed as much paint as you could possibly want.
That's not accurate.
I don't know what the top BPS is of the Invert Mini, but it's probably higher than those loaders will get.
Nobody wants your CO2 tank.
2 HPA tanks. Probably out of date by the looks of them here.
Yeah, they're pretty old looking. Well, that Empire one's probably okay.
There's 1 carbon fiber. He doesn't give the dates for any of this stuff. There's no dates included in any of this.
Oh, look. He's selling paintballs.
1 box and 3 bags.
Nobody wants your paintballs. You cannot go play tomorrow with unregulated field paint. Or
you can in the woods. It's gonna break.
He doesn't say everything you need to play tomorrow in the woods. He says everything you need to play tomorrow. So he's not being specific.
He's not being specific.
Nobody wants your paintballs. It's just what I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Is that just what you're saying?
Yes.
So yeah, obviously, I think you guys can tell that I don't feel this is worth $650. Invert Mini is a crappy gun, first of all. But
that's not the Invert Mini.
Yeah, it is.
It's his axe.
Is that the original axe?
I don't think that's the original axe because that looks very much like a mini. But is there a box?
No, that's the axe. All right, that is the axe.
Yeah, it says.
All right, well, so that's probably worth like $200 maybe, but none of this other stuff. No, this is not worth $650. All right, moving on. Let's see what we got next.
Set for $650.
So they put this Talon back up for $25. Again, I paid $25 for mine. Works perfectly well. It does not have tape on it, so not worth $25. Let's see what this one got. Working condition. Used a few times. Email with offer. Brass Eagle Raptor paintball gun with mask. Ross Township.
We could walk to his house. Potentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a bit far. I wouldn't want to walk there, but yeah, you could. No. I mean, he doesn't give a price, which is fine. But, like, honestly, legitimately, paintball fields, if you try to get these fixed, they will legitimately just throw them away. They won't bother to fix, because it costs more to, like, put new O-rings in it than it does just to get a new gun. Which is, pretty funny. But I think all this stuff we went over last week, so I guess we're out of stuff to make fun of now. So I guess we gotta start talking about some stuff. Crap. I don't have anything to talk about. I'm unprepared.
Are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not unprepared. I got stuff to talk about.
You got stuff to talk about?
Yeah. The other side of MMION.
Okay.
Yep. So everyone knows about the one side, but now we're going to talk about the other side. What is the other side, one may ask? Well, because last time we played the German team, this year we played the Allied team, so it's the other side. See how that works? You thought I was talking about, like, the dark side, the underbelly, or something like that, but no, I wasn't.
Okay. It could have been the dark side. Or it's the good side, it's the light side, and we were the dark side last time. You want to look at it that way.
But does anyone actually want to look at it that way? I don't think anyone does.
I don't know. I need you to scoot. Our special guest has
Our special guest is here. Well, while our special guest comes into the house and the dog goes all crazy for a minute, I just want to draw everyone's attention to, I'm sure everyone knows anyway, but right above me here, that's where we stand. In case anyone's ever curious about it, that's where we stand. And so, you know, our hearts go out to Mr. Floyd and everyone else that's had that issue in the past. So I'm not going to go into it too much because that's not what our channel's about. And also, as a white male, it's not really my place, but there you have it. And our special guest star has arrived. Say hello.
Hey, what's up?
Here he is. And the dog's still going crazy.
Yeah, he's still going berserk about me.
Well, you are quite lovely.
Sometimes.
And so it's easy to go crazy about you. If you let me...
You gotta calm down, dude. You gotta take a Valium. Especially if you decline me like that. I love you, Loki, but still, dude. Chill.
You want to play this?
You may need to.
Does it say you can give him somebody rescue remedy?
I don't know. He loves people so much.
He really freaking does.
But he's just so loud and so big and so barky. But he's adorable. And, you know, we can't help but love him. But so Paul's here. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
We're playing musical chairs back here. Look at Adog's leg. Look how bruised it is. That's what we're going to talk about today. Her getting all bruised up. Amongst, you know, other things. But before we get into any of our stuff about MMION, the reason that our special guest is here, who is not at MMION, by the way, has a special announcement. And if you excuse me while he gives his special announcement, I'm going to go try to calm the dog down a little bit.
Do you happen to have the images?
Images?
Yeah.
I could get them.
There's images?
Yeah, well, that's what this is all about.
Oh, okay.
The whole mistaken identity thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, for those of you that do know who I am, and when I general and all that stuff, I actually got asked if I was journaling a game over in, where was that?
Where was it?
Yeah, Skirmish? Okay, over at Skirmish.
It was on there, okay.
So Skirmish has a event coordinator that they hire that's out of Pennsylvania as well. And I'm not going to name that company. But they made an ad, and that ad had a picture of a guy, and that guy looked a whole lot like me, even in the weirdest nuances of the crook in my nose and the fact that whenever my beard grows out, I have this little outcropping that just kind of sticks up, that has nothing in front of it, nothing behind it, just there. And the guy poses himself similar to how I stand, and also, strangely enough, not these sunglasses, but the sunglasses that were in the picture in question, has the exact same Chinese knockoff sunglass brand that I was wearing at the time of the photo that it looks like it was stolen from. So, long story short, I had to validate that they didn't steal my image and all that stuff. And there is actually a guy that looks exactly like me that lives out in Oklahoma and all that.
Doppelgangers!
Yeah. So same color, red beard, everything.
I remember that photo. It really, if you don't
look at
know,
yeah.
if you're like flipping through, it absolutely
And in fact,
looks like you.
the angle and everything in the picture is exactly the same as one that came from a game in Michigan, was it 2 years ago, 2017, so 3 years ago. So I was like, well, you know what, there's way too many similarities, and so I reached out to them, and they got really hostile and defensive. And I was like, look, give me proof. I just want proof. I don't give a shit. I'm not here to get a paycheck. I don't want to have to sue you unless I have to. But it's real simple. If the picture is me, take it down. If it isn't me, prove it. You know. And if they refuse to take it down and it was me, of course, then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to sue you because I actually work for a competing production company and you're putting me in a bad position. Anyway, long story short, I am not hosting or playing in or generaling or have any involvement in any skirmish games this year or next year. I do know that they had pushed their project back because of the pandemic stuff. They actually just put their notice up 2 days before I reached out to them, it looks like. But if Dan is so kind, you could probably, I think I messaged him on Facebook both pictures, or at least he showed me the one picture, and the other one I think I saw.
Yeah, I think you saw the one picture because weren't we scrolling through something and you're like, oh look, it's Paul. I remember that conversation. Because if you're not...
Yeah, you have both pictures, so I sent you this one.
Oh, I didn't see... Oh my.
Yeah,
I didn't see...
It's the same sunglasses, same angle.
I didn't...
So... we figured it was a
Messenger?
picture taken from Dean. We figured they stole a picture from Dean.
So this is on...
This is in Michigan. So the poster... That's the guy.
That's the guy. Okay, so this is you.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that... I was like, wait a second. That has your Whiskey Squad patch on it. What is going on?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you look at the angle of the picture... Not that one. That's the picture of the guy. But, I think you scrolled up way too far. You did. Because it's the picture right above the one I sent.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there. So there's that picture.
Okay.
And then...
Bloop. So which picture is this picture?
That's me.
That's you, yes.
That's legit me. Now,
Yes,
do you
we
still have the
understand.
poster picture, or do you need me to send you that again?
Yeah, send it to me.
Alright. Luckily, I saved it in Snap.
And what about this one? That's this.
No, that's
this
the
is
guy. That's
this
the
is
guy.
the actual guy.
That was the proof to say this guy actually exists, because I was like, y'all are full of shit.
So that's the
Are you
guy
sure
that he
that's
was,
not you?
So this is the man who was actually modeled after, and then this is the picture of you.
Right. And I'm gonna zoom
Your
in
beard
for
looks
you.
very dark.
Are you sure you don't live two lives?
Are you sure that's not you? That's...
You might actually just.
There's actually a
live
picture
two
of me when
lives.
I used to have my no facial hair and short hair. And there's a Mexican soap star I look just like, except he has black hair and I have red. So I'm sending you the other picture right now.
That's...
Boom.
Why don't you go ahead and send me that other picture right now? Oh look, there it is. Boom. Boom. So this is the picture of the guy.
This is the picture of the guy. Now, strangely enough, that literally is the same sunglasses brand. You can actually see the trident.
That looks
crawling at the
exactly
back of
like
it.
you, Paul.
Exactly. I even showed my mom that. She's like, "That's you." I was like, apparently it's not.
That's
So.
absolutely you. I've seen you on the paintball field in that position
Exactly.
with this. The sticky,
So
sticking out.
actual you.
we thought that was the picture they stole from and that they had like poorly photoshopped, but apparently. Yeah.
Dude, and then the photo they used.
Yeah, and that's actually the guy. And actually, I found the
You-
picture that they took that from.
Photo, and then this is the actual guy.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this is airsoft because he doesn't have a hopper and he's using an AK. And
And he
so,
doesn't
like,
have a mask on.
Yeah, and they made this argument to me like, no, we did a game in the Midwest. Okay, tell me the game. Tell me when the game was and who the guy is. And they just went silent for 4 hours. And so I sent them a message. I was like, look, it's real simple. You're taking too long to answer. You were answering me really quick like, and all of a sudden you stop. If it's me, all I say is you need to take it down. You didn't ask for permission. If you want to entertain, having me as a sponsor or some stuff, fine, we can have a discussion. But until we have that discussion, you really need to get this straightened out. And then like an hour later, they sent me this threatening ultimatum of, this is the guy, this is the place, and if you want to try and sue us, go for it. All you had
Did
to do
you
was tell me
even-
that in the beginning.
Did you even mention suing?
No, they brought it up.
Well,
They got really angry and defensive. So,
that's weird.
yeah. And then they're like, we get mistaken for memes of veterans all the time. Well, I'm not asking anything about veterans. I just want to know why the hell you're using my picture. I don't give a shit about your veteran memes and all what you do.
Just why are you using my face?
Yeah.
My face.
That's my face.
My face. You don't belong.
My face, I get paid for it. Fuck you. I already got paid for it once in the video.
No, that's...
But no, I had to go through a lot of advice from a lot of people, and one was sue them anyway, which is stupid. I wasn't going to do. But I did talk to another person who does, the showcasing at games where they come, they're a special actor and a theme. And he reviewed it, and even he was like, you should sue the hell out of him, because I can't believe that's not you. And I was like, believe me, it isn't. But he said, well, if that's the case, that I need to go through every channel I can, denounce them, show that I have no affiliation with them, and to put a very strong divide between me and them, so people don't assume that I'm associated with them, especially since it's in a conflict with our production company. So that's why I had to do something like this. I post on my regular channels, but I'm not internet famous enough for people to look at my Facebook and stuff to go, oh, okay. They're going to look at that ad and they're like, I've seen that guy over at Three Rivers. And they're going to assume it's me.
Oh yeah, because we're extremely internet famous.
We are the most internet.
Our 3 viewers right now.
You have your own video. I don't. So...
All 3 viewers right now are getting the news about you're not hashtag sponsored.
We get more people that watch after the fact, though. Not anywhere close to anyone.
Yeah, maybe 10, maybe 10 views.
I think we've had like 30 once. Maybe.
Not on a live stream.
I find us very entertaining. We're a good old.
I am quite entertaining, and you are quite nice to look at. These are true statements.
Oh, thank you. I'm not entertaining. I'm just pretty.
That's right. I mean that is a form of entertainment. It's actually a very good form of entertainment that I thoroughly enjoy. But that was Paul's announcement. He wanted to make sure that he gets the word out wherever he can, and I told him he was welcome to do so on our channel with our 3 viewers. But it's more than 0, so that's what matters. And he wanted to make sure he got it, like he just said, as many places as he can. Because I legitimately saw that picture on their event page, and I was like, that's Paul.
I remember I was still. You even.
And then you
showed
said
it
to me, I was like, why the fuck is that me?
You were like, hey dog, this is Paul. And I was like, that's Paul.
It looks
It looks
it's
exactly
just
like
him.
you.
And actually, when I approached Dean, because I figured it was one of the pictures Dean Dean takes, because only Dean and his photographer take angles like that of me up close enough for something like that. And I
Because you
showed
ham
Dean
it up
that.
for Dean. Because some people just ham it up like I do.
Yeah.
Or Dean,
So
specifically.
I showed Dean this, because I'm like, can you send me every picture you've ever posted? And he's like, that's a picture we took. And even Dean was like, no, this is something we did. And he's like, but they must have photoshopped it. And I was like, So they're claiming they didn't. So.
And they have a photo of the person that they modeled off, and the picture in the event page, and the picture of that person, you can quite clearly see that's where it came from.
Yeah.
So it's
but
just
if you didn't have
so
that
it's just
context,
amazing. Yes, it's true. If we didn't have that context, but now that we do, it's just amazing that you and that guy look so similar.
Oh.
You're like the same person.
You're,
Right. And then the funny thing is like, similar build, everything. And then on top of that,
similar profile.
even with them giving me all the information they did, I could only find 3 pictures of this guy on the internet.
So you have the guy's name. We won't release the guy's
Yeah,
name.
I'm not going to say the guy's name. I
But
don't
you
care.
have it. So
Yeah,
you
I have all the
actually-
details. Like I know when the game was. This guy actually isn't even from that area. He's from another area. They just kind of like, I guess they're like, oh, you're sexy. Let's take a lot of pictures of you. Can we use you in our ads and stuff? Whatever. Yeah.
At least we figured out the mystery. Paul has a doppelganger in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's where the wind goes sweeping down the plains. In case you're wondering.
It's also where our other lovely ginger lives. Dougie Doug.
He's a rocket scientist, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I do now.
He is. He's a very intelligent person.
Wait a minute. There's nobody intelligent in Oklahoma. Why is he there?
Because
He
he got a
moved there.
job.
He moved
there for a job.
Because they didn't have any intelligent people, so they had to import them.
I was about to say that there's an intelligent enough company to entertain having intelligent
I think
people
he
in
works
that
for
area.
Boeing.
Oh, well, yeah, Boeing is done that way, yeah.
I believe he works for Boeing.
Probably works for...
So I think he actually builds planes and not rockets, but I believe he is capable of building rockets.
Well, actually, I do know a lot of mechanical engineers that moved to Oklahoma for work with Boeing. And you work very... That's interesting with Boeing, and I'll be short with this, but Boeing doesn't have you design a full anything. So Boeing will go, you, I need you to make this 3-inch bolt to these very specific requirements. You, I need you to make this opening that takes this 3-inch bolt that takes these very specific requirements, and they don't have you talk to each other at all.
The best part, though,
Well, that's odd.
is so both of you are gingers, and you're Polly Paul, and he's Dougie Doug. And I only do it for the two of you.
Who else would you do it for?
Other people could be...
Think of what other names would that even work for?
I don't know. Not a lot in our social circle.
Not very many at all, if any.
But I could do it. I
guess-
could call Ferk Ferky Ferk. I don't.
Could you?
He probably would not appreciate
I don't know if
it.
that flows well enough.
Not really.
But the fact that they're both gingers and they're my Polly Paul and my Dougie Doug. I'm an odd individual.
Stand up, show everybody your
I was about to
bruises.
say, we're here to see this bruise and discuss this bruise.
I have
Look at
many
these bruises. She has many a bruise. You're not high enough. You gotta get higher.
She's
girl.
pretty short.
She's not pretty short. She's extremely tiny, actually.
No, she's pretty and she's short, so she's pretty short. I know what I'm saying. Look
I
at
got
all that.
bruises here. I got bruises that I can't show on camera. This bruise, some lovely teammate tried to pull me in closer and shot me with his gun.
As opposed to shooting you with something else?
Yeah. There's a bruise right there. I got bruises on my... I got bruises everywhere.
You should just get you body armor.
I had a shield. My legs were the only covered. Okay. Can I sit down now?
I suppose. So basically what she's trying to say is she got shot a lot.
I got shot a lot.
I got shot a lot too, but I don't bruise as easily as she does. Paul didn't get shot at all because he wasn't there.
I went to a place that allows me to use first strikes.
No, that would do it. There was no event happening there, though.
There were a crap load of people, though.
I believe that, but my point still stands.
Whenever there not a crap load of people there, though.
I swear, it's like the pandemic occurred and everybody's like, I have to go play paintball this year. Like, new people all over the place. It's like people keep on getting turned away every, 10 minutes because they're so...
There
Like,
were a
full.
lot of newbies at Three Rivers.
It was nice to see.
There were a lot, because
there
they
were
did a tally.
Bunch of new
there were
people,
a bunch of new people.
which was nice to see. Eric says that we do not talk about the bruises he has. Is that like we don't talk about Fight Club, or is that like you saying, "Hey, let's talk about the bruises I have"?
He got pinned in the neck. It was a very lovely looking hickey.
Well, he broke the
shape.
first 2 rules.
He
Club
did.
if he did. So...
Minion. The only reason that we're talking about my bruises is because I am here as evident showing you my legs. And I think that Dan just wanted to show everybody my legs.
I won't deny that.
I have good gams. They may be corgi legs, but they get me where I need to go, and they're pretty okay.
They take a while, but she does
So
eventually
can you
get
move
there.
your butt like a corgi, though?
Careful, she's gonna start spitting everywhere.
No, I'm not going to sit next.
So yeah, we titled it "The Other Side of MMION," as I was saying before, because last time we did it, which was 2018, we were on the German side, which is the team we're usually on when it comes to Invasion of Normandy games. Ion were always on German. The first 4 years of Day of Days here in Pittsburgh, we were on German. And then Mission Masters Ion 2 years ago, we were German. And ADOG commanded that. And if you remember from last week, or from any time we talked about it before, we won, what was the score?
This year or
The last time.
Last time was 116 to 54.
116 to 54. So we slew. Those Americans had no chance against the fatherland. We slew them quite hardcore. But so this year we went on the American team. Actually, we were British, but we were on the Allies team, and it was a good game. It was a lot of fun. Almost exactly the same as 2 years ago. The one difference that they made was, or at least the one difference that I noticed, was the beach this year. Instead of being in the hyperball field where it was 2 years ago, they did it over where Day of Days, 68 Caliber Day of Days, did their beach, because 68 Caliber isn't doing it anymore. So I assume they just wanted to make sure they used it because it has the boats, if that's what you want to call them, which are really just a big door they flop down. They call them boats.
You talking about that one area that's near the parking on the other side of the
Yeah, it
Yeah.
used to be the opposite side where
Yeah.
the Americans were in this way to where the trailer is for zombies.
Saying going this way means nothing to anybody. They used to run this way. What does that even mean?
No, that would too.
So they ran the opposite way of where they run now. They ran up a different hill where
They run up to field one.
towards where
Up
the-
towards
I
field
remember
one.
that hill. I helped you all assess the defensive
Yes.
position.
Yes, up towards field one is where we go now.
I was talking about prior.
Yes, I know, but just saying they run up this
well,
way.
I
What
was
is that
facing
even?
Paul. He knew what I was talking about.
And where's Paul in the field? Did you give any?
I like to.
I knew exactly what she was talking about when
Thank
she
you.
did it.
But no one out there
Because
does.
when I examine a field, I don't
If they
go
don't
from
know, they do
side.
not have a strategic mind, and that's why they're not generals.
I look at it directly on.
Even if they do have a strategic mind, it doesn't mean that they're familiar with the field.
Well, Paul knows what I was talking about, and I was really just talking to Paul.
Anyway, that was the only difference that I noticed. There may have been other small differences here and there, but it all seemed pretty much the same except for that. But mission 1, we came out of the boats, and in the first 5 to 10 minutes, we were getting pwned pretty hard. I had no doubt that we were going to lose. But you and Dalton on the left were pushing everyone up. I think James was over there with you. James went back and forth, and then
Will Dalton was over there, I think. And Minion went over there as well with his shield and pushed people up.
Actually, there was a huge difference in that game. You didn't have any SS Panzer Grenadiers with an MG42 shooting there by the beach. That was fun.
what he said. And then on the right hand side, I was pushing people mostly just as a distraction, really, because with how far they were getting on the left, it seemed to me pretty straightforward that they were going to get to the top long before we ever went on the right. So I was really just trying to push us forward to be cannon fodder, to distract them so they would shoot at us while everyone on the left move up. But we ended up getting to the top anyway, right around the same time as you guys, but then we stalled towards the top because their respawn was closer to our side. So we did manage to get to the top about the same time as you guys did, but then the left side, they kept pushing forward, which is good because that's where our main objective was anyway, to take the flag to this particular spot. And then we kind of swang like a door to do what we needed to do. So mission 1, we ended up getting all of our possible points, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe we got all of our possible points.
They made a good push at the end.
But they failed. Well, it wasn't good because they failed.
They were very close. The one guy got real mad because he was very close to pulling our flag out, and he did not. But
Because he got shot.
Uh-huh.
I hit balls. It was the highlight of my day. I was in that little tree house. Not the one by the tank, but the one on field 1. And I saw him coming, and I don't really know if I hit him. I'm going to take the hit anyway. But I hit balls, and it was the highlight of my day.
Made her very happy.
He's a very worthwhile target considering his...
That he doesn't have any pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did very well on that one. Mission 2, we did not so
It was
good.
a disaster and a half.
I believe we got 0 points mission 2. So we shut them out mission 1, they shut us out mission 2.
It was a
So
disaster.
if Dina, if at any point you watch this video, this is what I'd like you to take away from this. If ever you do MMION again, hello, Ponage PB.
Hi.
If ever you do the MMION again, mission 2, you need to balance it out a little bit because 2 years ago when we did it, we shut them out. We got 100 points. We got as many points as we could. They got 0, And then this year, as Americans, they got as many points as they could, and we got 0. So both times that we've engaged in this on both ends, the Germans got all the points, and the Americans got none of them. So maybe Mission 2 should be balanced out a little bit better.
I don't know if you want me to mention this about the boundary lines.
Not yet. Well, we'll get there. Actually, I don't want that said online because I use that tactic to my advantage. So let's not make it public. Because I like to use that for stealthiness. But
I figured it out already.
He figured it out already. He doesn't even know what we're talking about, but he figured it out.
We speak in code. old married code.
Old married code. And Paul is married to who of us?
No, you and me talking old married code. Yeah, he can figure out our old married
so
code.
So who is he married to?
Everyone I meet.
But so then the rest of the missions were all pretty balanced. There were a few where we did better, a few where they did better. I thought that by mission 7, I felt that we were losing, but it would be close. I thought that at the end of the day, we would lose within 20 points, I figured. It would be pretty close, though. And we won't go into details about every mission, because that would be just way too long, way too complicated, and I don't remember every little detail anyway, but...
Aren't you the master of debriefs?
No.
You always have these after-action reports that you go over with your team.
I do?
Yeah. I got 132 kills. These 7 were right here, and these were here, and these were here. What about the rest of you? I saw you over here.
Well, that I do have. I do have my scorecard. And I will talk about the score that I have. But that's not the master of debriefs. That's just knowing how many kills and stuff I got.
But you're aware what your other team members do as well. Because you're like, oh, no, you didn't get 23. It was 22. You missed that last one.
People say that I'm competitive.
You are.
This is a whole different level of competitiveness. I don't keep track.
I'm only competitive with my people. I want to know that I'm better than them, so that they'll look up to me and follow me on the field. Because if I'm not better than them, then they'll think that they're the boss and they can take over. See this? See? This is me. And I don't want anyone else trying to take over. And if they know they're better than me, or if they think they're better than me, then they'll try to take over.
Simmer. Just simmer.
You think I'm wrong?
I'm pleading the fifth.
I'm looking at you, Dalton. I'm looking at you.
I'm pleading the fifth.
Fifth what? This isn't a courthouse.
That doesn't mean I can't plead the fifth.
Anyway, so
I feel like Megatron worried about fucking Starscream every 5 minutes.
Sure.
Did you ever watch Transformers as a kid?
No, not really. No, no. I was more of a Ninja Turtles and especially Dragon Ball Z kind of kid.
You watched Power Rangers?
A little bit. I watched Power Rangers a little bit, but mostly I watched Toonami. So all the cartoons that were on Toonami is what I watched. Power Rangers was not a cartoon, nor was it on Toonami.
Really big nerd.
Are you saying I'm big?
No. I'm describing...
Excuse you.
I'm describing your nerd.
Anyway, so it came down to the last mission, and...
I think we were winning going into mission 6.
We were obviously winning going to mission 7, because what it came... No, we couldn't have been either one.
I think we were
because
winning...
So the way it ended was...
Anyway, doesn't matter.
We captured... almost everything. Actually, we captured everything by the end of mission 7, and the last 30 seconds or so, a German ran forward and took out our flag.
And who put that flag in originally?
Well, you did, but by the time you got there, I could have run to you, grabbed the flag, run back.
That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. And first of all, that flag is bigger than my entire body. So give me some slack.
And second of all.
And second of all, why do you gotta take my thunder?
But you did indeed.
I worked really hard at getting all of the flags when Minion left because he lost his shoe.
Minion did lose his shoe.
He walked through the stream bed, didn't he?
He did, yes.
He lost.
So many
he didn't lose a boot. He lost a nice cleat.
Yeah, he lost a good an HK Army shredder too.
I wear those knee-high boots when I play, and I will walk through that stream, and I will look back at everybody and be like, don't follow me. And there's always at least one person
That tries.
and they'll be halfway through and be like, I just lost my shoe. And you spend like half an hour digging because it dissolves the shoe once it comes off the foot. You could get a steam shovel out. There is no shoe in the entire 30-foot radius. It's just gone.
Well, apparently when Minion went looking for his shoe, they found somebody else's shoe. They just pulled out a random shoe.
It might be Steve's.
Who knows?
I'll let Steve know. He lost that 5 years ago.
Who knows? But he pulled out some random shoes like, this is not mine. Never got his shoe back, but he found some other shoe. But anyway, so yeah, at the end of mission 7, this German soldier ran forward, pulled our flag out. Then one of our guys shot him and went to put our flag back in, but failed to do so in the allotted time. So the bell rang and the time ran out. And the score ended up being 105 Germany, 104 Allies. So we lost literally by 1 point, which is a really good game. I'm obviously very upset that we lost by 1 point. That's so aggravating for me. But as I've said many times, I'd rather lose a close game than win a shutout. So I thought it was a really good game.
And it sucks that that flag
Was the reason we lost.
was the reason we lost. But to lose by a point, I mean, we did really good, considering that we were down, I think, at like lunch. Morale was a little low at lunch.
Yeah, because Mission 2 really screwed us up. Everyone was feeling it after Mission 2 because we got crushed so badly. And again, Dean, if you listen to this at any point, rework Mission 2 because it was bad for them 2 years ago and it was bad for us this year. So it's obviously a mismatched mission. But after that one, you could tell that everyone on our team was feeling downtrodden. And then Mission 3, we didn't do too well either. We did not get our first objective or our second. Our third objective, at first we failed it. That was the 2 dummies. We did not get them right away, and we thought it was done with. And then eventually we found them somewhere. I don't know. All of a sudden there were dummies there. I don't know how it happened, but we got the points for it, so I was okay with it.
They got, and I don't know if this was because LOA just has very long legs or they're just very fast. But I feel that every time we got somewhere, they were there 5 minutes ahead of us.
Well, that's part of the methodology. I think they started realizing over the years with the whole scenario games that their advantage for them as a team is to blitz, and that means at all costs move faster to key locations and then acquire the resources. That was something I always observed was a building method. Every time I generaled against them, it became more predominant, and then they started incorporating scatter tactics, so that way they had a thin perimeter line that would form. So if you ever notice, whenever they fan out, they don't go in a surge anymore. They used to go in a surge. Now what they do is 2 to 3 man squads, and they have anchor points and overlapping fire windows. And then what they do is they use that also as a distraction for their blitz person, who's balls.
Always balls. I did get taken out by balls with a sword. But I'm actually quite pleased that I did. So me and Lil Dalton were inside a small prison. We were the tip of the spear, as one would say. We were in the front in this little prison outside of the main prison, holding back their entire line, trying to get our guys to move forward, but they really couldn't. And
this was mission 5, 6.
I want to say either 4 or 5, but in any case, they're shooting at us, we're shooting back, and then all of a sudden, it starts pounding with paint to where we cannot look out the windows at all. And I was like, Dalton, they're coming for us. And so I turned. I've got my pump, but I turned to the door, and I'm standing there. In hindsight, I should have backed up, but I was facing the door, ready to shoot whoever came across. They're pounding us, so I know they're coming, and in runs Balls with a sword and whacks me on the arm, and I swear the kid was trying to legitimately cut my arm off with his Nerf sword. That's how hard he hit me. And then he hit Lil Dalton. And Lil Dalton was like, are you trying to take my arm off? That's how hard he hit us. But the fact that it was Balls with the sword, I'm quite quite happy about, because if it wasn't balls with the sword, then it would have been someone with a paintball gun from 2 feet away, and you know how it goes in those cases, and they probably would not have taken it easy on us, and we each would have taken 10 shots. So I'm glad we got hit with a sword, even if it was quite hard. And I was talking to Balls afterward. He was like, "You scared me." I was like, "You knew we were in there. That's why you rushed it." He said, "Yeah, but I didn't expect you to be 3 inches away from the doorway, pointing your gun at me." I said, "Okay, well that's fair." If I had backed up, I could have shot him. But I'm also thinking, I've thought since, I'm glad I didn't back up, even though I would have shot him out. He wouldn't have been able to reach me if I'd backed up. Then somebody else would have come with a gun and shot us.
Yeah.
So again, I'm glad that he took us out with a sword. So that was a good one. But
He's lucky he's attractive. That's what I told him the other day.
Why is he lucky that he's attractive?
Because he's a jerk, and not necessarily like the mean sense of being a jerk. So when I see him with his little sword, trying to be all fancy with his 9 shields around him, I told him, I was like, I don't remember how the conversation was going, but we were all walking to the same point, and it angered me because they saw where our starting point was, because they walked past it. I thought the whole point of those games is that you didn't know where people started from. But anyway, I digress. So I looked at him and I was like, "You're lucky you're attractive." And that's what I said to him. But Dawn's real upset that I find Balls attractive. I think that's even funnier. And that's my story. And now I'm done.
Anyway, moving on from A-Dog's sexual fantasies.
Because whatever fantasies I want to have.
There's a whole new meaning of balls deep, right?
Balls whacking people with a sword. Here comes Balls and a sword. But so Little Dalton did very well. He ended up winning Young Gun Award, so good for him. We ended up winning Team Valor, so good for us. And there were a whole bunch of new people there, which was really cool. It was nice to see the new people, and we've discussed amongst ourselves that it was not only is it really nice to see all those new people that were there, especially like there were a bunch of college kids, I would say college age kids, and they all played really well. They played for their first time, or how not regular players. They played very well. They would listen when we would tell them something. They would follow when we would lead. The one disadvantage to having those new players is that they wouldn't push. They wouldn't run into fire, basically. So.
But if you told them to push,
no. If you led them, they would.
There was a group of I think 4, and they could have been almost college, but they were I'm assuming high school, and it was 3 guys and 2 girls. And anytime I told them to go somewhere or push somewhere, they did. Now, what they did when they got there wasn't necessarily what needed to happen, but at least they tried, and they kept doing it over and over. I took really fast. I found a group of young children, or they were high school age, but I could tell one ran track, and I was like, "I need you. You're fast. I need you to run to Noob Fort because of going after a puzzle." And they got to Noob Fort, and then Balls got them out, and I think they were terrified when they got to the outside of Noob Fort because LOA was already in there at that time. And then they just kept trying to push to get LOA out of Noob Fort. So I gave them props. They didn't have to do that. They could have, once they got out from that sword hit, could have given up, and they just kept trying to push up there. I gave them major props.
Which is definitely good. And like I said, I'm glad to see that they engaged the way they did. But at least from my experience, they would not run into fire without some sort of leadership. And I did get them to run into fire. But they also wanted people, and this is fine, this is completely normal for new players. They needed people to follow, to the point where in the one mission, I think it was mission 4, me, Nate, and James kept running to this building over and over again, and we were the only ones that would run to it. And at the one respawn, actually it must have been 3 because those dummies were there, we said, okay, on respawn, we have 1 minute where if you get hit...
That was 4.
Was it 4? Okay, so you have 1 minute to come back if you get hit. So at respawn, everyone run to this building, take the building. If you get hit, just come back to respawn and get back in. Because the building was close enough that we could get there within like 10, 20 seconds. You get hit, you come back, you respawn again. And I said, we need everybody to run forward and take this building. Well, guess who got there? Me and James. We took everybody out, but there was no one behind us, so the Germans just swept back in and took the building again. As I'm walking back after getting hit,
Oh my.
there's like 20 to 30 people standing behind the tank. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why did you stop at the tank?
They were securing the tank.
The tank was secure.
Well, now it's double secure.
It was triple secure.
Perhaps they were trying to repair the tank so they could use it.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they unfortunately, that mission we lost simply because people wouldn't push forward. But so we were generaled by the Grassy Knoll Gunman, but specifically Brandon, who I think he's 15.
He's got to be between 15 and 17.
He can't buy a beer.
He can't vote.
He can't vote. We know that. But he did very well for his first time.
I mean, we only lost by a point.
Yep. So he has things he needs to work on. I've already talked to his mom, Mary, about it a little bit. Nothing thorough, but he has some things he needs to work on. But for his first time, I thought he did very, very well. And I said this on Facebook, and I'll say it on here. If he decides he wants to general another game, we're there for him, and because it was a lot of fun and he was good to follow. And for his first time at any age, but especially as a teenager, I thought he did very well.
The only advice I have is to tell Alan to shut up. Really, Alan. No, he did very well. Every time I saw him on the field, I made sure that I listened to him. I wanted to follow. I wanted people to see that I
Brandon, not Alan.
Brandon, not Alan. No, I ignore half the stuff that Alan tells me. And I would just follow him wherever he went. He usually led me into good places, but I just wanted to make sure that he knew that I had his back. And that if he told me to go somewhere, that I went there for him.
Yep. So, Brandon, if at any point you watch this, the couple of things I think you should work on. One is being more assertive, particularly at the briefings. So,
that's where you need to tell Alan to shut up.
Yeah, that's where you need to tell Alan to shut up. And also that noob kid, he was just as bad as Alan, except he had a high squeaky voice. It was very annoying. But what was happening was Brandon was trying to think of a strategy for the upcoming mission. He had his laminated map, which was pretty cool, by the way. And he has army men, and he would place them and kind of just like figure out where everyone should go and show them with the army men, which is pretty cool. Congratulations on that. I wish I had thought of that. That was pretty cool. But this one particular mission, I don't remember which mission it was, Alan just wouldn't shut up. This noob kid, I call him Noob Kid because his jersey says noob on it, N-E-W-B, so like I'm not calling him that because he's a newbie. That was his nickname, apparently. And between the two of them, I don't think Brandon could even think because they just wouldn't shut up. So, and every 30 seconds or so, Alan would be like, Dan, what do you think? You think you'll agree with me, right? Because I was standing off to the side just kind of like watching it happen. And so at some point I was just like, guys, everyone stop. Let Brandon decide. He's the general. Let him decide. Let him tell him. You've now told him what your thoughts are. Let him decide. And I like as they were talking, I was whispering in the ears, like, ignore them. Just decide what you want to do. And I think he was legitimately trying, but the two of them were just so loud and wouldn't shut up.
You could tell he was getting frustrated, and it's from generaling and having trying to be three thoughts ahead and I have, Brandon didn't have this at the time, but having radio people talk in your ear of figuring out what's on the field And then you have people trying to tell you what to do when you're trying to figure out points. And this is specifically D-Day, but have an organizational skill. Your mind is going like 5 different directions, and to have somebody scream at you while you're trying to figure out your thoughts is very disruptive and just kind of detrimental. And so I felt for Brandon because he was just getting bombarded by Alan. And it was specifically Alan, and I hate to throw Alan under the bus, but no one else was really around Brandon. And when you're new to the game and you're trying to figure out what's best to general and to be able to explain to your players what needs to happen and how best to go about it, and then you have people trying to tell you what to do while you're already trying to think of what needs to happen, is very frustrating. Especially if the play is already in motion and they're telling you the same thing that's already happening, or they're just telling you what you have already planned out, but you can't implement it at that time.
Right. So, my advice to you would be listen to what people say, obviously. Like, it's always great to listen to other people, but at a certain point, you just got to tell everybody to shut up and tell them what to do. Because, again, you are the general. And particularly in this particular case, those two, they kept saying the same thing over and over again. And say it once, maybe even say it twice if you think of something new to add to it, but then stop. And they just kept going. So don't be afraid in the future to just say, guys, shut up, listen to me.
We definitely have
You're the general. You're the general that, don't be afraid to do that. And hopefully you could tell that I was trying to sit back and just let you decide, but at some point I had to intervene because...
And if you don't feel comfortable, just pull us off the field and say, hey, I need you to tell them to shut up. And we'll tell them to shut up.
I have no problem telling people to shut up.
I have no problem telling Alan to shut up.
Or anyone else for that matter.
Really?
In this particular case, it was Alan, but anyone, I'll tell him to shut up because, again, you're the general, you decide.
Yeah.
And then the second point I would definitely give you is once on the field, I felt that you kind of sank into the background. So you thought of you decided what everyone should do beforehand, and you handed out, who should do what, which was great. Thinking ahead, planning ahead, and doing all the strategy and everything was great. But once we were on the field, most of the time I didn't even know where you were. But when I did know where you weren't leading. As simple as I can put it. Which, that's some people's play style. You might not be an on-field leader. A-Dog's not. She is very much a analytical leader where she has the map. She knows what needs to happen on the map. But then she has other people, mainly me, on the field to make that happen and push people and yell at people and lead by example. That's not who she is. That's not what she does. But she's still a very good general. And if that's the way you play it, that's perfectly fine, but then you need to make sure that you designate that leader, your XO, to be that on-field pusher, because either do it yourself or just designate somebody to do it, because that's not everybody's play style.
And
I'm a pretty loud person. I'm sure everyone knows that on the paintball field, I will take charge if I notice there's a vacuum, or even if there's not a vacuum, I'll still take my squad and make it happen.
it's not always not being loud or assertive on the field, because I will tell somebody, hey, go there, or do you need me to cover you? And I try to be as involved as possible on the field to let them know that I'm still the general. But I'm not going to lead from behind, and my play style is not frontline player. So I need to make sure that I have my players who are frontline to lead, because I am not that player. And if you're not that player, then you can scream from behind and be that kind of leader if that's what you choose, and that's completely up to you, and I am not disgracing that by any means. That's your style. I personally want to make sure that the people that are going to get to the front of the line, always, Dalton, Dan, James, Nate, they got long legs and they're fast. I know they're going to get to the front of the line, so I make sure that they know what's happening, so they lead because they're at the front of the line and they are leaders. I usually don't have to tell you to do anything, you do it anyway, but you have to invoke you can't change your play style because that's going to make you not have fun and not play the game that makes you successful. So you have to use your skills and delegate to other people what you need.
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, those are the two things I felt that you should do better. Other than that, great job.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, and even with those two things, don't think that like that makes you a terrible general, because it doesn't. Because I've seen much worse generals that have been playing way longer than you.
I think you did a great job. We lost by the last mission, and
1 point.
that's
You can't do much. You can't do much better than that.
I'm
You literally
sure
can't do any better than that and still lose.
You have also a major advantage, and I think this probably helped, that you are a history buff, you are a war buff, so those war reenactments you know the battles. So use that skill to figure out what Dean's going to do, and you're going to be a kick-ass general because you already have the tactic of the battle or the skirmish for those missions. So you're already ahead of the game there.
So, keep doing what you're doing. Improve those two things, and anything else that anyone else tells you, listen to it. I think that listening to what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism, but in a constructive criticism is a very good thing. If people are just tearing you down to tear you down, ignore that. But if someone's legitimately thinking they're trying to help you become better, which I hope that you feel that we are, listen to it, take it to heart, and learn from it. So, but other than that, yeah, we lost by 1 point. You literally can't do better than that and not lose. So
you really can't.
Which game was it where we lost by 1 point until you pulled out an extra thing from your pocket, so we tied?
We tied, and I pulled. That was Dub 1.
Was it?
It was Dub 1 because I grabbed.
It was a general card.
There was a general card on that puzzle that I did in the tank.
So it ended with a tie, and then she realized she had a card in her pocket, so we ended up winning by 1 point because of it.
People were real pissed off at me.
Even Dean was mad at
They were like, "You mean this card?"
But anyway, so great job. General, again, let us know, and we'll support you.
We definitely will support you 100%.
You
can only get better, honestly.
Well, no, you could get worse. It's possible. Everyone could get worse.
Yeah.
I've seen people get worse.
You've seen people get worse. See? It is possible to get worse. Don't do that. Don't get worse. Don't get worse.
Okay.
Now, so Tim Toy
There's a certain duo we're all familiar with that got worse.
No, kind of. They started out pretty bad.
They did, but they got worse.
So, Tim Toy ended up winning Valor, which is most valuable player, which he then gave credit to all of Bad Company the next day. He gave this nice little post on Facebook saying, Bad Company earned this, blah, blah, blah. So I posted on it, and I'm going to stand by this, Tim Toy, if you watch this.
I think he is. He commented.
I did see that he said something. So, Bad Company did great. Not anywhere near saying that they did not do a great job, because they absolutely did. Kicked ass.
They did.
But you won that award. It was yours. And as I said on the comment, if you didn't want to win an award, you shouldn't have played so well. All right? You don't want to win an award? Then don't play as well. Be a worse player.
Is that really something he can do?
Be a champ. Get that hangover from the night before.
No.
Because he was telling me afterward, he's like, I never play for these. I have a whole drawer of awards. I just stick them in the drawer. And I don't play for awards. But it's nice to be recognized. It really is. We post them, we put them on our wall. They're hanging over here. And I'm proud of them. For us as a team. I don't play for them, but it is very nice to be...
I play for the Leadership Excellence or Command Award.
She does. Anyway, I want to win, yes, but anyway, but it's nice to be recognized for it. So suck it up, Tim Toy. Take your award like a man.
Speaking of awards...
You earned it. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have played so well.
But no, Bad Company... kicked ass. I think one of their players, Isaac, it was his first scenario. You didn't even know it was his first scenario. Little Dalton, I love Little Dalton. I thought we played really well together. He's amazing. He's going to be so ridiculously awesome when he becomes an adult. It's sickening. Spencer, who is probably the reason why Little Dalton is so good. I'm probably missing other people.
There were like five or
The
so.
I don't know his name, but he's bad company, and he got real mad because he kept shooting people and they would not leave, and they were wiping. He's awesome too. I'm so sorry, I don't know his name. I don't know why I know Isaac's name, but I don't
That
know.
angry guy.
Angry bad company guy.
Angry.
Let's roll that through the credits.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry that I don't know your name. This is the horrible thing about paintball is that like you don't know anybody because everybody has a stupid mask on.
You know more than I do because I know people's faces. I do not know their names. Paul, it was like 3 or 4 years before I realized your name was Paul.
Oh, don't worry. It took another year after knowing you to know your name was Dan, so don't feel bad.
But so talking about
So it took me 4. It took you 3 to learn mine. It took me 4 to figure this out.
See?
it was more important. I knew your name and I knew how to get you on my team.
Eric is the angry guy.
Oh, Eric. Okay, well, good. Thank you, Tim. I
I
didn't think he was angry. He was upset
He was mad because people apparently
were
were
wiping,
wiping.
and then they lit him up because he just kept walking towards them, shooting at them.
Which is, it's understandable. Wiping is always
was-
annoying.
He was very, and it happened on more than one occasion. He got mad on the field during the mission with the boats, and when we did the puzzles at the boats, because he was at the van and he just kept shooting them and they were not leaving and he saw them break and he got very heated. But I don't... Anyway.
I saw,
Eric.
unfortunately, I did see a few people, I didn't see them wipe, I just saw them not leave when I shot them. Which I don't typically see, I hear people say it, and I don't doubt that it happens, but I don't typically see it myself, but I did see 2 or 3 where like it was clear as day that I hit them and they didn't leave, so... That was upsetting, but that's at every game.
Yeah.
You're always going to see that. So, whatever.
In some points, the heat of the moment, and then also where it hits kind of makes it where you don't realize it.
And there are...
Because, like, just for example, this past weekend I went home from playing, and I found a welt on my leg. I never knew I got shot in the leg.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely does happen. There's no question. The 2... that I know of during the game, they knew. The one didn't want to leave because he thought he shot me first, and he probably did, but it was
out.
It was an exchange. We're both out, and he was like, "You're out." I said, "Yes, I am, and so are you." And then I walked off. I don't know if he left or not. The other one, I shot him in the side. It quite clearly broke on his side, and like he jumped. He knew it hit him. Like there's no question. Now with that one, it's possible that he was waiting because there was kind of an argument happening like right next to him because the guy next to him apparently was not leaving and one of our teammates, it might have been Eric, I don't know, was screaming at him to leave and then the ref was getting in on it and that's when I shot this guy who was very close to that situation. So it could be that he was watching or waiting or seeing what was going to happen. That is possible. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say hopefully that was the case. But he knew he got hit. That's for sure.
And there are some that you don't notice. I think I got hit in the pod pack a few times. That in the heat of the moment, you don't pay attention. You can't feel it. Because I think I got hit when I was doing that puzzle. I felt things lob off of me very gingerly, and I don't know how it would have broke anyway. But sometimes you miss paint. I mean, it happens, but like if it's directly in the mask or if it's directly somewhere you can see and you're not calling your shots, like at what point that you get hit so many times and it doesn't break, or if it is breaking, you just don't want to leave anyway. Like after 15 balls hitting you, not breaking, I'm walking off the field. I don't care. I don't want to be hit again.
I'm not.
I know you're not, but that's...
I stay there until it breaks.
But there's some things you just miss, but like obvious shots, like I've called myself out on shots that haven't broken because I thought they had. Just
That's true,
don't
you
be a
have-
jerk.
Don't
and then
be a
it
jerk.
upsets me.
That's true. Don't be a jerk. I use that as one of my rules when I ref. I give 5 rules, and number 4 is don't be a dick. So
Essentially, considering that the first 5 minutes are unlimited anyway, oh, you got shot out?
Yeah, you
Go
just-
back and come back in. Like, why
yeah,
are you wasting
in the
time?
first 5 minutes, if you're not sure, just do it anyway. But so we have to move on, and we have to talk about just how difficult Dean's word searches are.
Oh my god.
Dear Lord.
Oh my god.
So in all of the Mission Masters games that I have played, I have never once done a word search
I think I did one.
by myself. I've kind of helped a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I'm covering others as they do it.
And explaining the word search, obviously you find words.
It's crossword.
No, it's word search. Crossword is a whole different word puzzle.
It's where you circle them, and
Yes, it's
you
called
find
word
them.
search.
All the letters are.
But what you have
See,
to
even Eric says, "Oh my God, that word search."
But what you have to do is there's a 4-letter word that opens up a lockbox.
You circle all the letters,
And the
whichever
ones
ones
that
can
overlap.
You make it, and then you have to pick out the word so you can do the code.
I just have to say, I have 2 degrees. And ASEB could not come up with that word at all.
Asib.
ASIB, SEAB, SEAS, which doesn't even make sense. ASIB, like, I was sitting there.
Paul, you got it? You know what it is?
Yeah, we already had that discussion.
And-
I caught it in the first millisecond.
That's
but,
not fair.
And
But then again, at the same time,
James
I'm really good at
was-
Scrabble.
He
so.
was like, if I get out, just start circling things, so if they get this puzzle, they don't know. And Dean's looking at me, and first of all, Dean is taunting me because of a gold bar, first of all, which I don't appreciate, because I was trying to shoot somebody behind a tree. But I digress on that. So I get it, and I can't think of it, but I had all of the correct letters. And James was like, D as in dog, and Dean was like, no, that's not right. I was like, no, it's B as in boy. I had all of the letters perfect. Can I get base? A simple 2nd grade word. I have 2 degrees. I don't do letters, I do numbers.
She couldn't get base.
I couldn't get base.
But so Minion and I were in the plain tail doing our puzzle at the same time as she was doing her puzzle a little farther down. Because there were 2 different word searches with 2 different lockboxes. And the 2 of us together, I don't know how long it was, but it got to be at least 10 minutes that we were working on that damn thing. And the 2 guys that were covering us, shout out to them, whoever they are. They did a great job covering us. I never felt like we were going to get shot with them there, which was great. But every 30 seconds or so, they'd be like, guys, you should hurry up. Because they were afraid we were going to get overrun.
James was like, just start circling letters.
But we did get it. I got all the way down. We got one word left. I had Minion take over. I covered him. He got it. Nate was one of them, apparently. Was one of the people covering us. And then, so he said, I have the letters. And he said, MIEN. And I was like, well, mine in German is MEIN. So it could be my in German. So he tried that. That didn't work. He tried something else. And I was like, how about just regular mine, MINE? And I put that in. Sure enough, that was it. And then he ran off with the prop, which was obviously what we had to do. So, but the point is, Dean, those things are so damn hard.
They are really hard. Like,
those word searches are so hard.
First of all, you can barely see what you're doing. And then it's always hot when you try to do a word search. And so you're looking at it and you're deep breathing because you ran to this boat or to this place. And I was like, I've been doing word searches since I was like 5. Why can't I find these words? Luckily, I got the 4 letters before I had to find all those words. And luckily I had James, and then Dalton finally came, and then Isaac finally came to get me the hell out of that boat because I was like stuck behind it.
She was hidden very well to the point where I didn't even know she was there. She was doing her puzzle, apparently hiding behind James, but as I walked off from the boat, or the plane tail, because we finished just before she did, I had no idea she was there. And then when I got shot, I went back to respawn, and I expected to see her there, and she wasn't there. And then James comes running over with the prop, And I was talking to him, and he was like, "No, she's still over there." It's like, where? Where? You were hidden very well. So
I
congratulations.
was essentially behind James' shoe, like this, doing my word search in a little cocoon of hedgehogginess, roll ball. Yeah. And then I laid flat down, and I couldn't get my gun. And James's gun was there. I didn't even think about taking James's gun. But I was trying to like get my gun so that I could prop myself out to get out of the boat. Luckily, Isaac helped me and Dalton.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day. The next Mission Masters is Battle of Pacific, which is June 20th.
20th.
June 20th.
It's the day before Father's
Not
Day.
that far away. Today's the 4th.
So all you fathers and sons, come out, shoot each other, shoot with each other, whatever you want to
For
do.
Father's Day, come out and shoot people with us. Paul, do you have anything to announce on that?
No, I haven't gotten a confirmation or anything, so.
Do you want to tell people what we're waiting on confirmation for, or do you want to keep that a secret?
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise!
Surprise!
Now, we have not officially chosen a team yet, but more than likely we're going to be on the Axis team. And really the reason for that is because I want to fly the flag of the rising sun.
You want a flavor?
I want a flav. So that's most likely the team we'll be on, but it's not 100% sure of that yet. We'll decide more when we know
who's
generaling what team. And if anyone asks us to be on their team, that would make a big portion of it as well. It doesn't mean that we'll 100% go with you if you ask us, but we're more than likely to go with the first person to ask us. Because, if you ask us, why wouldn't we, really? Especially if, like, at MMION, we like both of the Grassino Gunman and LOA, we like both of them. We get along with both those teams. We have friends on both of those teams. So it wasn't like, oh, we like them, we don't like them, or
sometimes
we
it
know
is that
them
way.
and we don't know them. Sometimes it is like that, but this game wasn't. So we ended up going with the Allies, actually because Dalton was like, well, I'm good friends with Mary and James, so I want to be on their team. So we went with them. There you have it. So
yeah. I have a comment about awards very quickly. So,
she's a comment about awards very quickly. Bunny Fufu.
Little bunny.
Anyway.
So when you general a Mission Masters game, regardless of whether you win, you get a command award. Dean, I want to know that I won. That I just
Stop
not only
yelling. You're
commanded.
spiking our mic, so
I'm sorry.
stop yelling.
Not that I just commanded, but that I actually won. Like I won a W on that command award.
So what she's saying, you can go get the award and show it if you want, but basically the general of both teams...
I can't reach that, so you...
Anyway, the general of both teams get the same award, and what it says is command award. That's all it says. So what she's saying is, and I tend to agree with this, the winning team should have a W or a winner or something showing that
Winning
you
command.
won. And you don't need a loser's one, but the winner should say something just so you know that you won.
And that's just me being a competitive bitch. Like
But it makes sense.
I want to
makes
know
sense.
that and I think it's great that you get an award for generaling or commanding, whatever you want to call it. It's not an easy thing, and depending on how you general, we spend weeks discussing strategy. So to spend all that time or to be competitive, I want to know that I won.
You don't remember?
But not everybody knows. Because we remember doesn't mean everybody else knows. And then
I'm
so
competitive.
a comment for me on
I'm too
awards
competitive.
is, I think it's great that Dunedain keeps winning Team Valor, but just once in my life, I would like to win Valor. Just me. Because even the two awards we have that are Valor on that, they're just Valor, not Team Valor. Both were given to the team.
I tell him he's not getting team. I tell him he's not getting Valor.
I want it just for me, just once.
You've been giving
Well,
them...
Mr. I have a C. You are the team, I guess, so there you go.
Just one time.
This is the problem. and this is what I've explained to him. I'm going to explain it to these lovely people. You are a team player. You do things to make Dunedain win, not Dan win. So you will never get the Valor
Well, you know
Award.
what? F y'all. Next mission. I'm playing for me, and screw the
Please.
rest of you.
That's a bold-faced lie, and will never,
There you go.
never happen.
Thanks, Tim. Tim said
You're
that
a
he.
greedy bastard. You
Tim
know
said
that?
that he'll mail me his. You don't have to mail it, Tim. The next time we see each other, you can give it to me.
You're an ass.
That's not
First,
what-
Dalton has to give you a third place trophy, and
He
now Tim
didn't.
has
He
to.
absolutely didn't. Don't give me that bullshit. I did not ask for that, nor did I expect it, nor did I want it. He gave it to me, so I keep it on the shelf because I'm proud of it. But absolutely not. You take back that evil. He won that award fair and square,
He did win
and
that
I will
award.
not take that away from him.
He did win that award fair and square. I'm just saying, everybody keeps giving you their awards.
Anyway, thanks, Tim, but it's not quite the same. No, but honestly,
I'm gonna make you your own special award for next time, just for you. Okay, it's gonna say
Thank
almost
you.
had it.
Thank you.
Big pain in my ass. Daniel and Draco.
It's because I lead our team, and so the team gets it, which is great. I'm not saying anything bad about that. Just once in my life, I
You're
wanna
not
be
a selfish
recognized.
player.
I want to be recognized.
Okay, I'll recognize. I don't know what you want.
I want to be recognized.
Uh-oh. That's the sacrifice from being a leader.
Dang it! Stupid leading. Next game, I'm just out for me.
Okay.
Screw y'all.
I want to see how long that lasts. Where it's just Daniel and Draco show.
I'm not even gonna take my radio with me. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna run
okay.
around shooting people and doing missions.
He's gonna bring a webcam and it's gonna
How
be,
long
it's
do
gonna be
you
the Dan
think
Draco,
that's gonna last?
The Dan and Draco
Everybody.
show, and he's gonna tell you all for 10 minutes about this assault he's gonna do.
What's the over under on how long I can last not leading people but just playing for myself?
A minute. Not even.
A-Dog's got a minute. Paul, what do you got?
Does that include
3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
Yes, because you have to run out of view before you get shot at. That's what's gonna happen.
Does that include walking onto the field?
No, from game on.
So game on.
From game
so
on.
when they do the beep, well, we're on.
Yep.
We're at spawn point.
Uh-huh.
I give him 3.5 minutes.
You don't even give me a full mission? Neither one of you even give me a full mission.
Hell no. Hell no.
All right. In that full mission, you will last 2.5 minutes.
Well, I guess honestly that's a good thing, showing that I'm a team player. I guess that's a good thing.
You have always been a team player. Dunedain is
That's not what your mom said.
You wish you could have my mom.
Well, anyway, we've been talking here for an hour and 20 minutes, so we'll let you guys go for the night. But MMION was a great time, and we look forward to the next one, so everyone come out. One last thing before I go is A-Dog will be generaling 2 games this year. Both are Vietnam-themed games. One is a Mission Masters at Three Rivers, and that is
August 15th.
August 15th. And then
There's Hamburger Hill.
Hamburger Hill is at
At
Steeltown,
Steeltown.
and that is August 29th and 30th. That's a 2-day event. She's generating both of those, so everybody please come out and be on our team. We will be Americans and South Vietnamese on both of those games. So come on out, wave your American flag, wave your South Vietnamese flag, and go shoot some North Vietnamese communist people. So August 15th and August 29th and 30th. And at the Steeltown one, first strikes are allowed, and there's